Right, but you know the story that it's telling about? John, the 4th chapter, a Samaritan woman comes to a well. Just so happens Jesus comes to that well. Remember I told you a few weeks ago, wouldn't it be great if you could just understand sometimes God just likes to do things on purpose, not because you begged him, he doesn't hide behind the clouds waiting on you to poke through and get his attention. God just does things he wants to do. This woman didn't pray on the way to the well, oh, I just wish the Messiah would appear to me. She's just going to get water. And Jesus knows she's coming before he ever gets there and tells his men, y'all go on to the village. I'm going to turn aside. And he turns aside so he'll be waiting at the well. And she comes to draw water, this unpopular woman. And he says, would you draw me a drink? And she laughs. She recognizes him to be a Jew, her to be a Samaritan. And she says, well, isn't this clever, you being a Jew asking me, a Samaritan, for a drink? And he says, if you knew who's asking you. Now, you know how guarded Jesus was with his identity? He even told some, don't tell anybody what I did for you. Now to this woman says, if you knew who it is asking you, you would ask me for a drink, and I would give it to you, and you'd never thirst again. Jesus telling a Samaritan woman he knows all about. See, her story is not through yet. It gets better. She doesn't have any way of knowing that he's fixing to say, go back and get your husband. And she said, oh, I don't have a husband. And Jesus said, that's coy. You say it well, I have no husband. In fact, I just put them up there so you could count them. In fact, you've had 5 husbands, and the man you're finally living with, you won't even marry him. You gave up on marriage, didn't you? You're with number 6 and won't marry him. A woman for whom life has been broken. There's not much you can say about her and say, well, she was just one of those women, moved on. No, she was one of those women broken, used and abused, ignored and forgotten, borrowed for a while in marriage and then given away. She was a woman that maybe nobody would have wanted, including the gossiping ladies in the village. Who really knows? You and I know enough about the law of Moses and the law of that land that this would not have made her a good woman. This would have made her a broken woman. And Jesus says, go get your husband. He knew she didn't have a husband. And she said, I don't have one. And he said, that's right. No shame here. He's not offering condemnation. He says, in fact, you've had 5. And the one you're with now, he's not your husband. And so she doesn't know what he's fixing to do. She just says, I'm going to go back to the village and tell people what he's done. He knows my secrets. And that's what she went back. Y'all got to come hear this guy. He knows all my secrets. And he's a Messiah. And so I'll cut the story short because I got another one to tell you. The Bible in verse 39 says, many came to believe in him that day. The village started coming out. Hey, they didn't have TV. They didn't have Netflix to keep them locked in. They had to go out and see the entertainment. Okay, let's go. They got out and met the Messiah. And by the time he was through ministering to them, they all came to believe in him. Many came to believe in him. Why? Because of the woman that nobody would give you 2 cents for. The woman who had nothing to give him but brokenness. And he didn't prove in that use of her, oh, I love it when people just mess up in life. What he proved was, I don't care how many bad choices people make. They'll never lose their worth and value to me.